In 3 months' work, we were able to get a huge jump in revenue and growth. We were able to add about 7.5 million in revenue projected over the next 3 years.
This consultant uses AI to help businesses grow faster every single project. But he's not using AI the way everyone thinks.
Then I had another client and it took less time and we got the jump. And then the most recent client I worked with them for about 6 to 8 weeks.
Here's the problem. Most businesses are implementing AI completely backwards. They start with the tool and try to force it into their broken system. Watch what Andrew discovers that changes everything.
Most people don't know what their customer wants, and they've built all these systems in the back end without actually knowing what the customer wants. So the conversation you and I had when we first met, I'm like, I'm always looking for those little trigger signals that like tell me where there's a misalignment between what you're saying your customer wants and what the customer might want. And then there's a glitch there that I'm looking for.
This is the fundamental mistake. Everyone asks, how can AI make our processes faster? But Andrew asks, what do our customer actually want? And how can AI help us deliver that? The difference is everything. But here's what's really fascinating to me. Andrew didn't just start with this framework. He had to reverse engineer his own success. Watch this.
So what I did was I had to go back and look through the process. Like, what am I doing on each project that's unique to my own process? So that's what these Post-its are behind me. It's like I'm trying to work it out. Yeah. So like what I'm actually doing is I'm feeding all of my projects to Notebook LM and Claude and a couple of other AI systems. I'm like, take out everything that I've been doing and categorize it into steps.
He's using AI to analyze his own AI implementation process. This is the meta AI for business growth. And what he discovered were 6 consistent steps that most businesses completely skip. Step 1 is a game changer. While everyone else starts with technology, Andrew starts here.
What I'm doing at the beginning is I'm kind of doing upfront diagnosis. So because I'm starting with the customer view, I'm figuring out what patterns are coming from the customer. Like, what are they actually looking for? What do they want? What's the progress they want to make? There's never a new purchase. There's never a new thing that people are buying. They're always doing something before they work with you. So you've just got to figure out what that switch is.
This is brilliant, right? He's not asking, how do we sell our solution? He's asking, what are our customers switching from? This completely changes how you build AI systems because you're solving the actual problem, not the problem you think exists. Here's where it really gets advanced. Andrew doesn't just implement AI tools, he builds what he calls the management application layer. Now watch this.
Once that messaging is taken off the website into an independent area, and what I do is I put that into a Claude knowledge base, a context, like I create 50 documents to inform that for your LLM or for your AI. Once that's taken out and really you've made a decision on the 5 W's, like who, what, why, where, all those, I could share a huge amount of information with these things, but give it the right framework and it would make it much easier to think in the same way as a platform like that.
He's not just feeding AI random information. He's creating knowledge architecture that teaches the AI to think like his business does. Most companies dump data into AI and hope for the best. Andrew systematically captures institutional knowledge and builds AI that actually understands the context. And the results speak for themselves. While most AI implementations focus on efficiency, Andrew's approach drives actual business growth.
In 3 months' work, we were able to get a huge jump in revenue and growth. We were able to add about 7.5 million in revenue actually projected over the next 3 years. Then I had another client and it took less time and we got the jump. And then the most recent client I worked with them for about 6 to 8 weeks. And then we came out the other end with the growth that we wanted that will be projected over the next, say, 6 months. But we're already seeing the impact.
Notice what's happening here. He's not just getting results, he's getting faster at getting the results. That's because his AI systems are learning from each implementation. This is the compound effect of doing AI right. Andrew learned something most marketers never figure out.
I always struggled as a marketer to tie what I was doing to any kind of impact that could be measured. It was always this kind of nebulous measurement of success. And meanwhile, I was seeing all these companies I was working with go ahead and sell for hundreds of millions of dollars and, you know, and have these great exits. And there was such a kind of chain of those things happening that I really wanted to make sure that whatever I was doing was somehow recognized in numbers and on paper. So that's why I always focus on growth first.
This reveals why his AI approach works. He's not implementing AI to make marketing feel more sophisticated. He's using AI to solve the fundamental problems of connecting marketing activities. So how do you actually implement this? Here's Andrew's framework distilled into some actionable steps. First, flip your AI audit. Stop asking, how can AI make our process faster? Start asking, what are our customers really trying to achieve and what are they switching from? Second, build your knowledge architecture. Don't just dump data into AI. Systematically capture what makes your business unique. Your frameworks, your customer insights, your institutional knowledge. Third, create learning loops. Each customer interaction should make your AI smarter about your specific business context. You're not just automating, you're building intelligence. Fourth, measure what matters. Connect every AI implementation directly to growth metrics, not just efficiency metrics.
And then when the LLMs came around and ChatGPT was released, and then I started using Jarvis and Jasper a lot, and like what I started to see was that I could share a huge amount of information with these things, but give it the right framework, and it would make it much easier to think in the same way as a platform like that.
The technology isn't the constraint anymore. The constraint is having the right framework to guide it. And that framework comes from deeply understanding your customers, not your technology. If you want frameworks like this to help your business grow systematically, check out our studio program below. We help business owners build a strategic foundation that makes all tactics, including AI, actually work. Want to learn how to build your own AI framework? Check out this video next.